Vanarama National League title race rarely disappoints, and it is game on here at the racecourse ground. Between the top two, Stockport can win the title with a win here. Wrexham have other ideas, and that, of course, is where we start this highlight show in the company of Adam Virgo and Adam Somerton.
Tozer with the long throw in, and Hinchliffe got something on it, and it's John Ford. What a save! Oh, that's a magnificent stop from Hinchliffe.
Superb all round. That is a world-class save. I don't care what you say.
Plenty of players around the goalkeeper, Hinchliffe. Great throw in by Tozer, and scores! Ollie Palmer has put Wrexham in front.
Just look at Ben Hinchliffe in the goal. Doesn't really want to come, doesn't really want to stay on his line. He's caught in two minds. And Ollie Palmer, yet again, is on the end of a Ben Tozer throw. It's a great finish from him.
Palmer. Davis. Now Mullins in behind here. He could make it two just before half-time. He has! Magnificent Mullin does it yet again for Wrexham.
The quality of this through ball from Jordan Davis is absolutely brilliant. It's a top class finish from Paul Mullin. Sets himself nicely and gives Wrexham an absolutely massive goal.
Wrexham free kick, great ball, Palmer! Dream start to the second half for Wrexham. It's him again, Palmer at the double. It's three for the Dragons. It's a long way back now for Stockport.
Jordan Davis, with that left boot of his, just puts it into a perfect area, and he just gets a little run off Hogan, and you just need the faintest of touches on it.
There's the racecourse roar that tells you this title race is not done yet. To the final day it goes. Wrexham have made sure of that. A match point missed by Stockport. Ollie Palmer with a brace. And the top scorer, Mullin with the other. If one doesn't get you, the other one will. And they were both on target today. The pressure and the jeopardy is maintained. This title race is going right down to the wire. Full time at the racecourse. Wrexham 3, Stockport 0.
I thought we took a while, 10-15 minutes to settle into our stride, and they probably started the better of the two teams. But I thought the game management was excellent after that. The lads kind of rectified the problems themselves on the pitch, and we got the goals at good times. And you know, we looked a real threat today. And listen, it's an important win, not just the win, but the goals as well, because the goal difference is important. And the aim was to come here today and take it to the last game of the season, and we've done that. We've also secured guaranteed the top three finish, which you know is important as well, because that's a huge advantage. The lads are calm, they're happy, obviously, that we've won, but we'll be ready to go again next week against Dagenham Redbridge.
Big week ahead, obviously. How much of a psychological blow could that be?
No, listen, I don't think it's a psychological blow. It's a psychological blow if you make it a psychological blow. At the end of the day, we've got 2 games to go. We need 4 points from those 2 games. We need to, first and foremost, win on Wednesday. That's as simple as it is. We had an opportunity today. We've let our opportunity pass us by through us not dealing with, as I say, the basics when you come here. We haven't done that. So we've now lost that. That's passed us by. The next one in front of us is Wednesday. We'll all be a bit grumpy for the rest of the day, but tomorrow's a new day, and we'll look forward to Wednesday, and hopefully from our side of things, winning on Wednesday and seeing what that does.
Some game. Luke Garrard, the Boreham Wood boss, and Aaron McLean pitch side here to enjoy it, and it was enjoyable actually after a good start for the visitors. Wrexham eventually got their way.
Yeah, I felt Stockport come out of the blocks quite well. I felt that Wrexham reset and the goal changes the game, and then you go and get Mullin that goes and scores just before the half, and then Palmer just after the half. it was an uphill task for Stockport from then onwards.
Yeah, it's just been a difficult few weeks for Stockport now. Yes, they've had wins since they lost here in the FA Trophy, but they are wobbling.
They're wobbling, definitely. They've now lost 4 out of their last 6. That is not championship form, unfortunately. And they need to somehow find it. The good run that they had gave them the cushion. But now that has totally evaporated. They now need to make sure that they get refocused, the senior players come to the fore, and they get the job done as soon as possible.
Of course, Wrexham stumbled at your place earlier in the week, but they got that first goal from Palmer here. It felt like the crowd and everything was going their way.
It was relentless, I have to say, in terms of the way they played. Playing areas, Mullin and Palmer, unforgiving in the way they go and press, and for me, the way they go and get their goal from Palmer in this header, it epitomises them this all season. 14 goals from throw-ons is a big stat.
No, it really is. And Hayden's been on the end of a number of those. He's not available, but Palmer is a target. And then the second goal's very different because it's such a lovely through ball from Davis, and then Mullin does the rest, Macher.
Well, the second goal is all about their footballing ability. You know, Davis, outstanding, probably the best midfielder in the division, and Mullin, the best finisher in the division. As he gets in front of goal, he just relaxes, doesn't look to smash the level off of the ball. He just knows that as long as he gets enough power on it and the accuracy's right, he's going to score. He knows he's got the distance from the defender, and his finish is impeccable.
Yeah, onside as we saw, picks his spot right on the stroke of half time. And bang. And then pretty much the other side of half time, everybody's still getting set for a big second half, and they get softish free kick, but they take full advantage.
Hugely. Stockport obviously accustomed to making changes. Charlie makes changes quite often early in games, and he went and done that with Jennings, and then to go and concede like they did with the Palmer goal, it takes the air out of your lungs, and for me it's just an uphill task from them.
Yeah, it's a massive goal. Obviously that 15 in 20 for him. He is goals per game. He's absolutely box office, and he and Mullin now are threatening to turn Wrexham into title winners potentially. It is still in Stockport's hands, but has the momentum shifted?
The momentum has massively shifted. You know, Wrexham are definitely the team that's in the ascendancy, and whether or not Wrexham manage to go and win the title, or whether or not they end up in the playoffs, that momentum, going into the playoffs, you want to have momentum. You want to be full of confidence. You want your strikers scoring goals, and they're doing that. And at the same time, you've got Tozer in between French and Clayworth. And they were excellent today. Up against a really, really strong Stockport front line, they were excellent. And a clean sheet here today will give the whole squad massive, massive confidence.
More clues through the week with Stockport taking on Torquay, their game in hand, and then that massive final day when the title will be decided. What about the chasing pack who are looking for playoff places, starting at Halifax? And Michael McCann has the details.
Halifax knew yet another win at the Shea would take them above Wrexham into second for now before the top two meet tomorrow, and Jordan Slew nearly had them in front early on. The Shaman had their opener just before the hour mark thanks to veteran midfielder Martin Woods, his first goal since late August. But fourth bottom Aldershot are actually 13th when you look at just the away table, and equalised in the 86th minute thanks to Mikhail and Jolie. Halifax miss out on a 9th home win from 10. Solihull Moors and Dagenham and Redbridge are two promotion-chasing and free-scoring sides, and true to form, Solihull led in just the 13th minute, defender Callum Howe's third here this season. The Daggers nearly found a rapid response though, through creative spark junior Moraes, but inside the opening quarter of the game, Solihull were to go 2-0 up, Callum Maycock making Moors the first side to score 50 goals at home this season. Chesterfield losing earlier meant Dagenham and Redbridge could go up to 7th with a win here, and they had hope 2 minutes after the second goal when home midfielder Jamie Osborne was sent off for a late lunge. Solihull are in fine form though, and despite being down to 10 went 3-0 up just before half-time. Another Moors defender on target, this time Alex Gludger. Only leaders Stockport had taken more away points coming into today than the Daggers, who had one back through substitute Josh Walker's first in 12. The visitors pushed hard to continue the fight back, with Moraes and Matt Robinson both going close as time ran out. The Daggers really were proving luckless as Walker hit the post late on, leaving their playoff hopes hanging by a thread after a first loss in 8. Solihull go above Halifax into third on goal difference. Notts County could seal a playoff spot by avoiding defeat against Altrincham. and they were nearly headed in front early on by Carl Wootton. A minute into the second half, County would lead though, Callum Roberts winning a penalty and then slotting in his 15th of the league season. The Magpies have scored in every home game for the first time since the 1977-78 campaign. Altrincham will be full-time professionals for the first time next season and nearly levelled through Elliot Osborne. Having scored the opener, with a quarter of an hour left, Roberts then assisted strike partner Wootton's 19th of the campaign. Late on, Wootton was to be joined on that figure by teammate Ruben Rodriguez. This win taking County to a half-century of points at Meadow Lane this season, form they'll hope to take into the playoffs soon.
Look, we talked about a good double act here up front. That's a good kind of trio up front, isn't it? Rodriguez, Wootton and Roberts. Powerful for Notts County.
53 goals between all three of them. 19 Rodriguez, 19 Wootton, and I think it's 15 for Cal Roberts. It's unbelievable return, and we played them early on, and for us, they're a very good outfit with a very good manager, and they cause you a lot of problems.
Conversely, Solihull kind of spread the goals around. They spread the love. It's a good win yesterday, isn't it, at home?
It's a very good win, and no goals from Sabara or Dallas. So it just shows that even if those lads aren't on target, they've got other players in the team that can step in and score the goals for them.
Yeah, against a team that were chasing, obviously, points in Dagenham and with 10 men after the sending off of Osborne. So they're resilient as well, Neil Ardley's side.
Hugely, he's a very good manager. Unfortunately, we got them on the last game of the season, and they're going to want to obviously get into third spot to give them one home game to get to the London Stadium. Apologies, but no, very good outfit, very good team, play good patterns, and yeah, you've seen now there's a lot of good teams in this division.
Including Halifax. You were there, weren't you, to watch them take on Aldershot? I kind of presumed they'd find a way, and they nearly did, but they've dropped points.
Yeah, they've dropped points, and they'll be really disappointed with the way that they dropped points, because they were in total control of the game. First half just couldn't find a goal, but once they went in front, you thought, right, they're going to run away with it. Aldershot just stayed in the game, and then on the counter-attack just nicked a goal, and then from there it could have gone either way.
Halifax at Stockport on the last day. That will be a belter. OK, all the rest of the action from the weekend after the break, including down in the southwest. A good day for Torquay, but the problems persist for Paul Cook and Chesterfield. That's when we come back. Welcome back to the National League highlights. Action from 4 more of the weekend's games coming up now, starting with playoff chasing Chesterfield at Torquay.
Little promising this for Torquay, right. Duke McKenna urged to shoot, made the space for it, and again! Great goal! Oh, he deserves that! He's always looked like Torquay's most likely source of inspiration.
Well, there's big concerns for his team now. Duke McKenna has been absolutely brilliant in this game, has always offered something as an outball, turns gunning inside out, goes onto that left foot of his, and produces a quality finish.
Knocked down by right, Manny Little brought down on penalty, and it's going from bad to worse here for Chesterfield.
Is there a lot of contact here, or has Armani Little been clever? I think it's the latter.
Armani Little scores confidently, emphatically. Torquay double their lead, and Chesterfield's playoff hopes are in serious jeopardy here.
Strikes it brilliantly, sends Scott Loach the wrong way. Significant goal for Torquay, but even more of a significant goal against Chesterfield.
A win for Grimsby and other results going their way would see Paul Hurst's men secure a place in the playoffs, but it was Maidenhead who started the game on the front foot. Now to take the lead after 25 minutes, Luke Waterfall, the Grimsby defender, with the own goal. That's 2 games in a row that he's found the back of his own net. And you know how the saying goes, it never rains, but it pours. Moments later, Waterfall's afternoon went from bad to worse. Almost immediately from the restart, he committed a foul, and as the last man, he was shown a straight red card. Just 11 seconds of playing time had passed between the own goal and the foul. Maidenhead now with an opportunity to double their lead from the spot, Sam Barrett making no mistake. The visitors now looking in a strong position to make it 5 games without defeat on the road. And those points were all but secured when Ryan Upwood timed his run perfectly to tap home. Grimsby were to grab themselves a goal when Tristan Abrahams was fouled in the box and awarded a penalty. The striker picking himself up and calmly slotting it down the middle of the goal, although it proved to be nothing more than a consolation in what was a disappointing afternoon for the Mariners. Boreham would still have an outside chance of gatecrashing the playoff places, but a win today was vital. And they got off to the perfect start, Ty Marsh scoring for the second game running. Yeovil, though, have struggled for goals this season. Only the bottom two have scored less, but they were gifted the chance to open their account for the day after they were awarded a penalty. However, Dale Gorman saw his penalty saved by Nathan Ashmore in the Boreham Wood net. And shortly afterwards, they were to pay for not taking that chance. Yeovil thought they should have had a free kick after Gorman was dispossessed in midfield, but Denon Lewis wasn't about to wait to see if the ref was going to blow his whistle, racing clear and expertly finding the bottom corner. The home side were much improved after the break, and they were back in it when Morgan Williams headed home to reduce the deficit to just the solitary goal. And on the 65th minute, the comeback was complete. Former Boreham Wood man Luke Wilkinson scoring the free kick will just about end the visitors' chance of reaching the playoffs this season. Bromley's season has dropped off alarmingly. Just the 2 wins in 16 games, but a game against the division's bottom side represented the perfect opportunity to get back to winning ways. Chris Bush giving them the lead in the 26th minute. Despite Dover's relegation having long been sealed, they didn't stop pushing for an equaliser, and they were rewarded for that with less than 10 minutes remaining. Danny Collins's header perfectly guided into the far corner. However, there was to be late drama in this one. Just as Dover thought they'd secured themselves a point, Corey Whitley scored in added on time to put the home side back in front. Few celebrations for the home support, but Dover, with virtually the last moments of the game, scored again. Danny Collins scoring his second and securing an unlikely point.
Bit of pride for Dover. I guess that's all that remains for them. Plenty still in store for Chesterfield and Grimsby, who'll probably make the playoffs, but they're kind of limping in.
Yeah, and that's not the position you want to be in when you're going into the playoffs. Providing they make the playoffs, that is. You know, Dagenham can still get in there on the final day if they manage to beat Wrexham. So
which is a big if.
Which is a big if, but it can happen. We've seen plenty of shock results in this division and throughout the footballing pyramid. So it's not a foregone conclusion that they're gonna beat them, but these two teams, Grimsby, Chesterfield, need to be winning. They want to go into the playoffs with momentum, and neither team are doing that at the moment.
You were not out of it until that quick flurry of goals from Yeovil put paid to your slim playoff hopes.
Yeah, frustrating, but one that we felt that we was out of it for a long period of time. If we was going to take it to the last game of the season, we'd have done some good. But for us, it's about our aims of having the best defensive record in the division and the second best points return on 73. If we can achieve that, I feel we've had a good end to the season.
Yeah, I mean, let's not forget you had, for a long period of the season, nothing but good news. It's just that couple of months has cost you.
Yeah, it's relentless, and you got teams like this that go and build mid-season. Stockport have brought in 3 personnel in Doofus, St. Angol, and you look at them and they've gone on a slightly different run to what they want to, but I think for me and us at Boreham Wood, the FA Cup run, the trophy run and finishing in the top 10, you would have taken that at the start of the season.
Well, congratulations on the new contract, and we look forward to seeing more from you and your team in August. OK, more from the weekend, though. The rest of the action to round up with Simon Watts.
Woking were preparing a party to celebrate 100 years at the Laithwaite Community Stadium, or Kingfield to most of us. Danny Whitehall threatened to spoil all the fun, a good old-fashioned Route 1 goal to take him to 10 for the season. Within 3 minutes, 37-year-old Ross Flinty was beaten by Jack Rolls in his first league appearance in 3 years for Eastleigh, the kind of quality that had him on the books of Spurs and Crystal Palace until February. Woking then received their 7th red card of the season, an off-the-ball incident involving Jamal Loza, and Brennan Camp saw Loza sent off for the 2nd time this campaign. That was in the first minute of stoppage time. In the 8th, Eastleigh snatched the winner. Lyle Simpson hit the post, but Dan Smith was on hand to end their 6-match winless run in dramatic fashion. In what's been an otherwise unspectacular season for Barnet, the form of Adam Marriott has been quite the opposite. And when Tom Blair brought down Efron Mason Clark right on half-time, the striker had the chance to score for the 5th game in a row. 10 goals in his last 11 away from home, and 17 for the campaign. Any hopes relegated Weymouth had of a first win in 15 were effectively ended 3 minutes into the second half. Daniel Powell converting Teddy Howe's cross as Barnet looked to finish the season strongly. Weymouth did sign off their home season with the goal of the game. On loan QPR defender Nathan Carlisle with his first senior goal, but Barnet held on to make it 4 without defeat. It's a pity Kings Lynn's revival in recent weeks has come too late to save the already relegated side. Just 2 defeats in 9 heading to Grosvenor Vale. Cameron Hargreaves spanked the crossbar with the kind of effort his old man would have been proud of. Josh Barrett was so close to scoring a spectacular free kick. But top scorer Gold Omateo was on hand to head in his 4th in 3 matches, taking him to double figures. That looked to set the Linnets on course to make it 4 games unbeaten, but they couldn't hold on. Conor McAvoy sent Wealdstone's top scorer Josh Amera clean through to level with his 4th in his last 7. And the Stones' home season ended with late drama and a moment of redemption for Ira Jackson. He was sent off in the reverse fixture, but when Nico Tavares' cross was headed back by Charlie Cooper, Jackson was on hand to hit the winner.
Some good goals in there. I think probably the pick of them, that Jack Rolls winner for Eastleigh at Woking.
Yeah, well, listen, he's got good quality, the lad. You know, you don't play for Spurs if you don't have good quality. And you know, his execution of this was first class. Probably the pick of the goals in this weekend.
Yeah, important win that, you think, for Lee Bradbury. He's not long in at Eastleigh. Obviously, Darren Saul pretty fresh in at Woking. He'll have plans, I'm sure, for next season. Who wins the league, Luke?
Stockport.
Still?
Yeah, I just believe with 2 games they need to get 4 points, and if you was to offer that up to them when Dave Chandler come in at the time he did, I think they would have bit your hand off, and I think he's got enough in the building to go and get 4 points in the next 2.
Actually, it's worth remembering they were outside the playoffs when he joined, Charlie, so some job.
Yeah, it's an amazing job that he's done. You know, he's a brilliant manager. He's galvanised this whole team, the whole squad. And yeah, I think it's in their hands. I do think that they'll go on and win the league, but Wrexham are going to run them close, obviously.
Indeed, giving themselves a chance with the big win here. OK, a check on the table, starting at the bottom. Sadly, for the teams at the foot of the table, the relegation places are decided. Dover really had no chance, did they, with the deduction at the start of the season. Weymouth and Kings Lynn, the other 2 to drop out. We will look forward to the company of Maidstone and Gateshead, among others, next season. And at the top, it is Wrexham now by the odd couple of goals, but Stockport have that game in hand in midweek against Torquay, and then all the final day drama, not just for the title, but also for the playoff places. Thank you very much, of course, to Luke Garrard, and good luck with Boreham Wood next season. We will obviously watch on with interest. And of course, as always, to Mr. McLean, who seems to have a never-ending supply of those lovely jackets in every colour, including, what is that, magenta? Wine.
We'll go with wine.
We'll go with wine.
Wine's fine.
Claret. No spilt here, but Stockport licking their wounds because Wrexham are top. Thanks for your company. See you next time.